I think the recording has started. Yeah.
Uh, Recording had started.
Yeah. So you can make the full screen visible now. And- Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you. It's looking good. Yeah. Thank you.
Actually, I have forgotten recording. So we were discussing about the various clauses that the real challenge while implementation of QMS is how to correlate these clauses in your area, because let it be education, let it be hotel industry, let it be health, let it be education, let it be bank, let it be a manufacturing organization. This ISO 9001 2015 is same for all of them, and by going through various clauses, we are just going to correlate that in which clause which document is required for our use, and then how can we use it. So that would be the something on which we will have to work. That if say I talk about the organization and in context, so what are my internal and external issues? We had identified all those issues, and those issues are available with Dr. Vikram in quality management system. The work we had already done is going to help you a lot, but then also you have to understand all these terminology. So I'm just changing the I'm just changing the slide. uh, just hold for a minute, it was previous presentation.
In the meanwhile, Professor Narula, does shifting to his slide. I like to share with the audience that, the initial work which he had done at Manav Rachna has been shared with the library team also and with the control of examination sir also. And Professor Narula, today I had shared the standard also, the copy which, the scanned copy of the entire standard, running into around 40 pages. So I had
हाँ
shared it today with the team also. So we have that, standard available with us, and the
okay.
manual definitely mentioned, which we worked for almost 2 years at Manav Rachna, has been shared with the both the teams. They have some idea. Yeah,
Okay,
thank you.
that's great, that's great. So I hope the screen is visible to you people.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay. So now we are getting into the details of some clauses. Although it's not possible that I should cover all these clauses in short time, the best way is go through the this standard again and again, and you would enjoy it. You would enjoy going through the standard and learning. So, as I already discussed, that all our clauses of ISO 9001 2015 are aligned with PDCA cycle. PDCA cycle of Edward Deming, which is a very basic cycle. You can see that this fourth clause is fourth, fifth, and sixth. The three clauses are aligned with plan. Before going to any activity, we are going to plan it.
ऐसा ज्यादा है.
The fourth clause talks mainly about the understanding and understanding the need and expectations of interested parties. We had just discussed a small regarding interested parties. Interesting party is a term which is extended version of the stakeholders. In stakeholders, we talk about all the persons who are involved in the organization in some way. But when I talk about interested party may be a neighbor. The neighbor is not involved anywhere in your process, but then again, your neighbor is affecting your process. If it is affecting your process, then it is the interested parties. So there are various terms which are very interesting to use and very interesting to understand. I think, Dr. Vikram, we have done some work on interested parties and this context inside and outside. Uh, we have drawn a table, as far as I remember, for
Yeah.
library and examination cell.
Mhm. No, I think maybe you can elaborate, what are the interested parties in case of examination or library, in addition to students and faculty, there are other interested party also,
Uh,
communities, vendors, and all those things.
uh,
Let's give an example. Yeah.
Actually, right now that QMS of library, I would have to just check it. It's not with me. Means it would be somewhere in the laptop or mail. I would have to check it. So I thought this is very first session. So uh, I would just make you aware of all these clauses and the procedure. So that we can discuss in next lectures while going through the this QMS, because slowly you people will go through the QMS and you would understand more and more things. So this is the context of organization, is just basic, which we talk about in fourth clause. Fifth clause talks about the leadership and commitment. Here you will have to draw a quality policy as we have drawn in our institution. That quality policy is just like a vision document which we are preparing for NAC or NBA. Vision means you have some goal in your mind as far as your organization is concerned. So that comes under the quality policy, and as far as this quality management system is concerned, quality policy is a very significant document. And whenever I talk about any document, there are three stages of a document. One stage is key; it is on the there are three stages of any information. One is that information is documented. Second stage is that information is implemented. You have some quality policy. Second stage is you are going to implement this quality policy. And third stage is that how much you have achieved, how much goal, how much percentage of goals you have achieved. That is the effectiveness. So we have to talk about three things. One is documentation, two is implementation, and third is the effectiveness of that implementation. So that is mentioned in clause 5. When I talk about clause 6, it is again the part of planning, but here we are going to address what are our risks, and then we can assess our risks and we can find out the opportunities. Now, for this identification of risks and opportunities, you will have to have a brainstorming session, because if I talk about the library, the risks are different. If I talk about the examination cell, the risks are different. For example, one risk we had discussed, that as far as our literature is concerned in library, whether this my all this literature is likely to be damaged by some say moisture, or some say with these mosquitoes and with these germs, like it may be distorted. This is just I am identifying one risk. One risk may be that whenever a book goes out of library, either it should be issued or it should be the with the special person of that authorized person. So this is one risk, that there could be theft of books. So I'm just identifying some risk for library. If I talk about the examination cell, the most significant thing is the secrecy, that there should not be any information leak from examination to the others. So like that we can identify the risks. See, we may be doing all these things with experience. We are doing all these things in library. We are doing all these things in examination also. We are doing all these things. These are the things of common sense. But now, what is the difference here when we talk about quality management system? That we are formally sitting and we are formally identifying our risks, and we are documenting our risks, and after documentation we would be working on how we can reduce the risk, or how we can implement uh, the how we can mitigate the risk, or how we can reduce the risks. And if any changes in planning are there, so those changes are also to be documented. See, documentation is a very, very significant part of this ISO 9001 2015. So all these things comes under the planning. When I had planned my processes, next thing is I am going to execute it. So seventh and eighth clause talks about the execution. When I talk about seventh clause, it's talk about the resources. Resources are, you may say, human resources, as well as the infrastructure resources. So whether all the resources are available to you, it would be you can identify it with respect to your plan, with respect to your quality policy. Then next comes the competence, that whether we have aligned the responsibilities and authorities as per the competence. It includes experience, it includes skill, it includes educational background. Again, how much you are aware of your processes, what are the uh, world class standards in your processes. This you have to be aware of. For that you have to go for the trainings, and it is usually asked during audit that how many trainings or how many staff development programs have been organized for those departments or those processes on which we are going for the ISO certification. It also talks about the way of communication. How do department communicate within itself and with the outside world? Now, this seventh clause talks about the infrastructural support and communication. When I go to eighth clause, now it's talk about the operations. That what are our standard operating procedures for doing any operation. Here also you can draw the process flow maps of all of your processes, because these process flow maps are very significant. The process flow maps helps you to identify the non-value added activities in your processes, and by looking at process maps you can revise your processes. It also talks about the control of external provided services. Say you are taking some services from outside suppliers. They may be services, they may be products. So it talks about the process, how we are controlling the externally provided services. For example, we are going for like say three quotations. Whenever we ask for the services of external supplier, so we are asking for three quotations. So it could be one of the control of externally provided services. So there are various clauses like release of products and services that say I take the example of our academics, that whenever a session starts, timetable is prepared and timetable is distributed. So when the timetable is distributed among faculty members, so whether the timetable has been distributed with this proper authority, so that is the release of product and services. And the next, this clause 8.7 talks about the control of non-conforming process outputs. Control of non-conforming process output means, say there is some flaw in our process, then how we are dealing with those situations. Do we have any SOP, standard operating procedure, to deal with this SOP? SOP, when I talk about SOP, so these are for the, uh, these are not operation SOPs, these are for the corrective action and preventive actions. So corrective actions may be, say, in examination, some student has been caught cheating. So of course there is a committee is there, then they decide that what to do for this malpractice. So that is the correction. In some cases, we can go for the preventive action also. Sorry, there was some confusion. Instead of admitting, I had clicked on denied. So that person may join again. There was a person asking for some. So, so I was talking about the release of products and services and control of non-conforming products and services. So it covers under clause 7 and 8. Now I have planned my process. I have executed my process. The next thing I have to check. I have to check my performance. And in performance checking, we are usually doing it as per university norm. Even we are doing academic and administrative audits also. So like that in ISO, we talk about the internal audit, which is very significant aspect of ISO, that you should have a team of internal auditors. Those auditors are trained that how to perform a internal audit as per the requirement of ISO 9001 2015. And in the internal audit, there may be some non-conformities, and how we are dealing with those non-conformities. Before going for this ISO certification audit, if there is some non-conformity in your internal audit, so you have to clear that non-conformity. You have to plan the action taken report for that non-conformity. See, most of the things we are doing here are part of NBA and NAC also. We are doing all these things for NBA as well as for NAC. So 9.3 talks about the management review. Management review is the annual review which that department is doing for the, you can say, for the continual improvement or for the issues that has been existing in the department. So usually there are management reviews. Review means they are the reviews of top management. So we call it management reviews. So that is again a very significant portion of the ISO, because whenever management reviews, some suggestion comes. So whether these suggestions are implemented religiously, so that comes under the management review. The last clause talks about the improvement. So it talks about that when we had done non-conformity and corrective action, when we have done non-conformity and corrective action, after doing analyzing non-conformity and suggesting the corrective action, whether our process has improved. So that talks about the 10.2, and 10.3 talks about your continual improvement. It may be your future plan also, that in future plan we are planning to improve so and so, and we have improved like this. So this is a snapshot of all the clauses of ISO 9001 2015 of standard, which you have with you of those 40 pages. I have just cut short those, and with every clause you have to see that which document is required and how can it help me in my process. What I would suggest you that uh, make this ISO as a part of your process itself, so that you should not have to maintain some separate document for ISO and some separate documents for your daily processes. So that is just this was clauses, and this is the implementation, that how we can implement it. For implementing, first thing is which is missing here is the training, that whether you people are trained and you are comfortable with the ISO 9001 2015 standard. Then after training and after having expertise on it, you can go for the your internal audit. And after going for internal audit, then usually we select a certification body. And when we select a certification body, then we go for stage 1 audit and stage 2 audit. Stage 1 audit means it is just the audit of your documents, what you talk about the documents. It may be as good as we are sending SSR in NB and NAC. And then stage 2 audit is the site visit. So usually auditors from certification body comes to site audit for once, and then they can suggest you. There's a confirmation of registration. It is stage after the audit. Then you are registered with ISO certification body. So this is just a snapshot of the standard. Here, the same thing which we have seen in a one snapshot, I have mentioned all these things in clauses. Now, there are some terms related to quality management system which we must understand before getting into the detail of this ISO 9001 in more detail. And I am feeling it somewhat boring. And now let's go to a small exercise where we can identify these various terms. If somebody wish to discuss something about these clauses, I would be delighted to discuss. Otherwise, we can discuss it after the that small exercise.
So any clarification or any questions on the clauses which Professor Narula has discussed, maybe this is the time we can just ask for a clarification, since we had shared the standard in the evening today. I think, as Professor Narula said, the moment we read again and again, things become comparatively more clear on that.
Because we have understood it in this way only. We have gone through it again and again, and now we are comfortable with that standard, because this is the only way. If you are, see, there are two ways. One is you can hire a consultant and he would make all the things for you. But in that way, you would not have more understanding of the standard. That is more or less a outsourced work. So best thing to religiously implement and have the benefits of standard is that you should go it from your own side.
No, absolutely. What Professor Nirlav you have shared is right thing. As and when we refer to, as a librarian, or even when we refer to any of the law, we read it again and again. And every time we read, we find new interpretations and new terminologies and words in the law. So any bill or any law which is made, it has each and every word having its own weight. Similarly, the standard running into 40 pages has its own weight. The moment we read again and again, we will be getting a better understanding. And that's the reason, we being at the Assam University have decided to, not hire a sort of, commercial sort of a thing who would help us in making documentation. We have decided that we have an expert team, expert mentor like Professor Datta, a respected controller of examination who has an experience of, immense years. So we have decided that we'll do it on our own, we will read it, reread it, prepare the manual, and then go for, internal audits. And maybe we can indefinitely, invite you as a part of an external audit before we go for stage 1 and stage 2 audits.
So there's terms are very significant, which I was talking about. So I'm just going to share a small exercise. So is that screen visible to you, all of you? So these are the basic things when we talk about because these terms mentioned here would come again and again to standard. And what we can do, we can just correlate the definition of all these 16 terms to the which are mentioned at the left at 1 2 3 4 to this A, B, and C. For example, A correlates to the E. The most interesting definition, the most interested term is the document. What is the meaning of document? That is very significant when we talk about an ISO standard. It may be a piece of paper, it may be a sample, it may be a information in soft format. See, like if I talk about the format of book requisition for library, that is a document. But when we fill it and submit it to library, that becomes a record. The same is the case with the examination, that this award sheet is a document. But when we fill it the name of student and his details, then it becomes a record. So these are few terms which we have to understand. So you may just go through it, and if you could identify that what does the meaning of continual improvement means, or what is the meaning of corrective action, or what is the meaning of documented information, or what is the meaning of interested parties. I would share all those responses also, which are exact, but presently I want to interact that I was going through speaking and speaking, so I thought it would be boring. So let's energize and do some exercise. So second is the continual improvement. So what could be the possible meaning of continual improvement? I usually became confused about what is difference between continuous improvement and continual improvement. Then somewhere I have read it in my literature itself that when we talk about the continual improvement, I hope it is right, which I am saying. This is the
I think it's L, recurring activity in to enhance performance.
great, sir, great. So this is continuous improvement. This is continual improvement. This I came to know some time back that this is the difference between continuous improvement and this is. So next is corrective action. Corrective action is done whenever something goes wrong, or you can say that whenever some non-conformity is there.
It's F, I think.
Yeah,
It is a
exactly, sir. It is F. So I am delighted to have such a learned audiences. So this is F, that action to eliminate the cause of non-conformity and to prevent recurrence. Normally, in industry, we call it kappa also. It includes corrective action as well as preventive action to prevent its recurrence. So next our is the term is documented information.
It's O, I think. Set of interrelated or interacting activities that use inputs to deliver the intended result. Though I'm not very sure.
See, when I talk about the document, it talks about some information. Like we had talked about that that sheet, award sheet for student is a document, or it is a documented information.
A is also information required to be controlled and maintained by an organization and the medium of which it is contained. That much.
Exactly, sir. Exactly. This is the documented information. This K is the documented information. Then we comes through the process. Whenever we talk about a process, we have a input, we have a output or result, and we have some
That is O
activity.
is process. O is process.
O is process. Great, sir. Now we are coming to interested parties. 6. We had discussed just meaning of interested party in Initially, when we were talking about the fourth clause, we were talking about the internal and external issues which can affect us.
P.
Good,
Yeah.
great. It's P. Interested parties, P. Now let's talk about a management system. Whenever I talk about a management, then we have
It will be A.
it's a great, sir. See. Now it's measurement. Measurement is a very significant activity when we
N.
talk about quality management system.
It's N.
Is it an process to determine the value?
Great, sir. It is N itself. So now it is becoming somewhat clumsy. Next comes the monitoring. It's
It will be B, most probably.
pardon, sir.
Whether it
B.
is C, sir? C. I will
It
go
is
with C.
H. It is H.
No. Monitoring means we are
It will be C.
just wish to know the
I
status,
go with
exact
C.
status. Like
N.
I talk
It's
about
N.
the air quality index. So here we are monitoring that what is our status of air today. So that is
It's M.
monitoring.
So it M determine the status of system process.
It is M, sir. Exactly. When we are determining the status of a system, a process, a product, a service, or an activity. So monitoring is M. Now I talk about the objective.
It's D.
It's D.
Objective is D, result which we have to achieved. Now it's organization.
It's B.
It's C.
Organization is B. Great. Then comes the terms outsource.
H.
H. Great.
Performance.
13 is the performance.
It's measurable result.
Exactly. 14 is the requirement.
It's D. Result to be achieved.
No, no.
It's pardon.
It's D. No, D. No. It's requirement. No? Its result to be achieved. B.
Requirement is, it is J. It is the
Need or expected standard.
expectation that is stated.
Right or obligatory.
Now here itself we have to understand that whether requirement is stated or generally if it is a statutory requirement or requirement by our regulatory body, then it is very significant. Because whenever I talk about ISO 9000 standard, we have to fulfill all the requirements. We have to establish our own benchmark. Then we have to check our performance. But apart from our benchmarks, the requirements which are stated by regulatory and statutory bodies, that needs to be fulfilled. That is the basic requirement. So that is very, very significant term, requirement. Next is the risk.
Its effect of uncertainty.
A risk is
Effect of uncertainty. G.
exactly, sir. Great. This is the effect of uncertainty. And now is the top management. So
It's C.
C.
Person, a
It's
group of
C.
people directs the organization
It's
the
C.
highest level.
Great. So this is just a basic that these terms we should understand before getting into the details of standard. I think you people are going great. These terms are known to us. The standard is with us, and now we can go through standard. We can understand, and now we can start implementing. In every clause, there are some documents which are to be attached. See, when you go through this ISO 9000 QMS process now, I have started feeling that now I make my things documents very quickly. As far as say our CV is concerned, I used to very confused that which is my latest CV. So even in your CV, you can write down that this is the date of my CV and this is my revision level, which is basics in the documents. So this is all from my side today, and I would be delighted to discuss more and more because if I go on only speaking and speaking, it won't be more effective at this time in night. So I am always open for these discussions so that I could also learn more in this area.
Thank you, Professor Narula, for sharing the insights on especially on the clauses, because this certification comprises mainly on the 10 clauses. So we have discussed in detail. Maybe let's have, some feedback or questions from the participants. So let me start with the library team. Amit, are you there? So, any clarification or any discussion you wish to initiate on this? Amit. Okay, it appears that Amit is, somehow busy. Apurva from the library.
Yes, sir. Actually, in library you have different like acquisition procedures. Like for books, it is physical books is different. E-books is different. E-books resembles its electronic journals. Still, for journals is like renewable every year. For books, e-books it is perpetual. But the thing not everything is fully like documented. Like in government of India also, like in our government organization also, like journals or subscription, it's somewhat documented. But again, there is a difference in printed journals and electronic journals. So the lots of things to be like keeping in mind, and each and everything cannot be kept in a documented mode. Like sometimes we have to skip some steps for the sake of, like we have time limit to exhaust the fund. So how to get document those things during this like audit or inquiry?
Apurva, what you have mentioned is absolutely true. But I do believe that, in government organizations, all those GFRs and procedures, they are sort of, guidelines for us. So, of course, you have just mentioned rightly that at sometimes, during the last moment, we get lots of funds, we do. But we do have a, basic procedure in all the acquisition processes, So I think the processes which have been documented, or the processes which we understand by going to the standard, we are really going to document and work it out, for making this happen.
Okay, sir.
Exactly.
Like, this is a time, we still have time. We are not going for certification as of now. We still have time. Most of the things, especially in library, they are well defined. My experience, which we did at Manav Rachna and here also, things are pretty well defined. I share
So,
example,
sir,
of a private,
in
we were
library,
working.
each and everything is well defined, and most of the things are documented. Sometimes we get
Absolutely.
additional guidelines from finance, then only sometimes we deviate from our existing procedure. Otherwise things are all are documented, and most of the libraries are follow the same thing. Like in book acquisition, in journal acquisition, we are having the fixed set of rules, and we don't deviate.
Absolutely, Apurva. So, Professor Narula, most probably in terms of, documentation and all, being a government organization, we at the Assam University, we are following all those regulations of the government and its statutory bodies. We don't have much room to play and look around. Like we have so much of flexibility in a private organization. Comparatively, things flow in a straightforward, defined manner. So that would be very easy for the library. And similarly, for the examination also, things would be easy. So now I would request Professor Datta to share his comments and team from the examination.
First of all, I thanks to Professor Nurullah and also Professor Dr. Vikram Sharma. So one thing is that in examination, we have some rules which we have to follow. Today morning, we are discussing about we are discussing about your last topic with Bobby. So we have discussed what is the actual at the time our ex HOD of Station Department also was there. The was there. So we are discussing that the problem is that variability. Regarding the variability, I've told them the variability is, our variability mainly is the publication of result. What actually we have to fix a time, though UGC has given a 45 days, and we could publish the result in 28 days. We have shown that one. So sometimes it get 56. So we have to minimize our deviation from the number of days. and we have to find out where the problem arises from. That is how the marks are not coming or evaluated or these things, and what action we have to take, because everything is time bound in examination. Time bound program is there. We have to, regarding the discussion about that, that is regarding the question paper, and that is for the checkpoints, question paper, then examination, evaluation. Examination, evaluation part, that is it under control. And question printing also is under control. But the problem arises when, because we collect the question paper from the different teachers. And in undergraduate from the different colleges. So it takes time, some more time to start the process. So for that reason, we have to make a chalk out plan that the calendar, that from where we will start the process. Calculating that the number of times required for printing, that is around 25 days. If we can give that to confidential printer, they can provide us. So that time period is fixed. So we have to fix out the time period for setting the question paper, moderation, and that should be in a time frame manner with a plus minus 1 or 2 days, not more than that. Deviation variability may be 1 or 2 days, but if it is more, then everything will be delayed. Similarly, in collection of marks from teachers, and then then scrutiny, then finalization of marks. So coming of marks, that also there is a great variability, because in some cases we are getting the marks within 2 days, whereas in some cases we have to remind a number of times.
Exactly.
So only in the side of controlling that, it is a total process control, because we are not. So everywhere there is a chance of assignable causes.
Exactly, sir.
So we have to identify the assignable causes and how we can control that one. And we have to see that what I have understood in the different phases of that manner in process control, that there is a indication that it will go beyond the time.
Exactly.
So we have to control that point first.
Exactly.
To minimize that, because sometimes we are observing that the question paper is not coming, and it is coming in very slow manner. So we have to, after some days, we have to be alert. Otherwise, the process will be out of control. We cannot manage that.
Exactly.
Similarly, the coming of marks also, we have to make a time period that after that we will give a reminder, so that the process should be in the control.
Exactly. For your case, the variability in time is a challenge, and the same challenges I think every university is facing. Even today, I was also talking to our COE, and he was telling me that to publish the result in 30 days, it is the real challenge. The same challenge what you are talking about, sir.
Now, one thing is that we have a good staff. They are doing day and night work. We publish the result in 28 days, whereas there are 45,000 students from about 5 districts, and some districts are hilly districts. It takes some time. So we manage that one. And they are working. But one thing is that how to check and who will check, that responsibility should be fixed.
Exactly.
If we want to go for ISO 9000 or 9001 and 2015, so we have the system. Everything is there, because regarding the mark sheet, so that it should not fail, we have different security things. We are using QR system, that is QR code also we are using. So everything is we are doing, and every day it is a process. Since it is a process, every day we are changing, from this point to that point, towards the upliftment of that one. And And what we new thing, but one thing is that every documentation should be there. One more thing is that we have a regulations, that is the PG regulation, PhD regulation, everywhere. Regulation is there. In some cases, some modification is required, and we on the spot we make some change the regulation some point, because everything, no, nothing is rigid in this universe. Should not that. So we deviate, but keeping in the main point should be there same. The objective should be same.
Exactly, sir.
So this way we are doing. So if you visit, you can find that everything is there, but we will take some time to arrange everything and making a schedule. That is the main point, that what I am facing from last, because it is my second tenure. Last 5 years also, I have observed that is that planning part, there is we have some short. Otherwise, we could not go against that, because the rule what permits, we cannot go against that one, because the academic council, executive council is there, and other bodies is there. We cannot violate the rule of higher education policy. If they give some instruction that you have to incorporate these things, we have to incorporate.
Exactly.
So rules, almost all like all universities, it is same.
So as you people are having good SOPs, so it is easier for you people to go for ISO certification, because rules are very clearly defined usually in government universities.
Absolutely, Professor Narula. This is the reason, when, I joined last, the good thing is today I have completed 1 month at the Assam University. So it's 28th January and I joined on 28th December. The moment I joined, within a week during IQAC meeting, I found that things are pretty organized, and these are the two sections. Examination is something, it has to be highly organized, and especially in a government setup, things run very smoothly, very organized. And that's the reason, I requested authorities that, let's try for ISO certification to begin with the examination and library. And I'm, really happy that, our top management, the word defined, has a for us. It's going to be a cakewalk, because things are pretty organized in a government system. Flexibility is of course there, but with the permission of the authorities. So I think as and when you come to the next, for internal audit or external audit, things would comparatively be organized, and we are working on the documentation part.
So now I request Bobidima sir to say something if she wants to speak. Bobby, do you want to say something?
Hello? Hello? Here. Sir, do you hear me, sir?
Yes, yes.
Please go ahead.
Okay, sir. Sir, I want to thank you, sir, Narula, sir. The session was wonderful, sir. The exercise which you have given to us, it will definitely help us to develop, to improve our quality and our functions, and more systematic manner of the SOPs. We will prepare the SOPs. We are in the process, and the session is definitely we are very much thankful, sir. We are very much enriched by your value talks and your presentation. I would also like to thank our controller, sir, and our librarian, sir. Thank you from my side, sir.
Thank you.
Brojan, do you want to add anything? Brojan?
Yes, sir. Hello?
Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir, for sparing your valuable time with us. We have learned so many things from you. I am from exam. Let me say something about the exam. Exam is a time-bound work. Because of us, we cannot postpone the exam. Exactly. If we declare the result within the short period of times, the stakeholders will speak about the Assam University. Assam University is very good. If we go beyond the 45 days, or if we take the 3-4 months for declaration of the results, our students cannot go for further study. That is why exam work is time bound. Just to follow all the time bound work, we have to prepare the calendar, let's say the calendar for the activities of exam for pre and the post exam. When to notify for exam form fill up, when to collect the question for exam, when to moderate, then when to conduct the exam, then when to declare. If we follow this timetable, there may be plus minus 1 day, 2 days may be there. That means we can, exam activities will be very nice to the public. I think that we have to prepare the exam calendar for pre and the post. Now, we perform all of our activities within the time bound. From your training, we have learned from today and onward, I think that documentation is very important, sir. Then we have to improve documentation in Assam University, sir. Thank you, sir, very much.
Thank you, sir. I am delighted to hear your talks.
Esteemed, respected control of examinations, I think the talk has been fruitful, and we are pretty ready to go for internal audits. Few more trainings by Professor Narula as per his convenience, but things are pretty lined up. So I would request, a respected controller of examination to propose a vote of thanks for all of us on behalf of Controller of Examination Office and Librarian Office. Things are going in the right direction, and we are confident. We at the Assam University are pretty organized comparatively. Things are straightforward, and whenever you visit us, for internal external examination, you will definitely find that things are pretty organized, and we are confident that we would be able to achieve the certification. So request the Controller of Examination, sir, to propose vote of thanks.
First of all, thanks must be given, but thanks to Dr. Victor Sharma. But he is our man, so he should be, university will definitely recognize him, the initiative he has taken. Thanks to our examination branch, they are ready to start the process, and they have, because after your discussion, we have in our discussion, if you feel that we have made some discussion regarding that things, and we have discussed with other people also that we are going for that one. So thanks that you have started the process, and I am like our librarian sir, I am sure that within a very short period of time we will get ISO 9001 certificate, and certificate is not main. Main is that everything should be streamlined, and we have to fix a benchmark, and from that, every time we have to go upwards. And PDCA, the technique, the plan, do, check, and act. Again, from act, that plan will come. And in this way, the ball will running up. So, hope that within a very short period of time, you along with us also find Assam University in new position. Thank you, sir, for your lecture, and which enriched my previous readings. So I have sometimes, because sometimes I used to talk that producer risk is there, and consumer risk is there. Our student should not be failed. A good student should not be failed, and our product should be what product we are producing. The people may think that it is students should not be a product.
Sure.
With these words, I conclude. Thank you.
ठीक है sir. I am always privileged to have discussions with you. That it's my privilege to have things discussed with a learned person like you, sir. It's a real learning experience to have discussions with you, to the way you share your experiences. Thank you, sir.
Sure. Thank you so much, Professor Narula, for your team examination and team library. Thank you so much. And, I think, should we decide for the next training, sir, if, do we need the third part? Or COE, sir, do we need a third part on clarification, or should we do some documentation and then maybe we can...
We'll take 7 days time. Let us start our documentation. After that, please inform Narula sir. We will inform him that what things we have done.
Sure.
Then next step will be started.
Sure.
Let us take 7 days time only. That what we can do within 7 days. So after 7 days, we'll meet again.
Sure.
Thank you so much, team ISO, Assam University, and Professor Narula. Let's, just fix the deadline as our respected COE said. Within 7 days, we will be able to, come up with some documentation, and then we'll share the documentation with you, which will definitely help in, further, strengthening it. So thank you so much. Take a good care of yourself, and we'll meet soon. Take a good care. Yeah. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Good night.
See you all again. Good night.
Yes, sir.